and introduce Dr. Ikechukwu. Am I right?
Ikechukwu Obioha.
Ikechukwu.
Exactly.
So I'll give you all the floor, Doc. So I just want, the folks on this call are with us for the very, very first time. They just getting started with Argus classes. So I want you to just as you heard in your when you did the course with us, you heard many people come and talk about their success story. So I want you to take us through your educational background. How did you come to know about us? When did you do the course? What happened after that? And more important, what are some of the key takeaways that you can kind of give from your experience for folks who are seeking a career in pharmacovigilance, and how can this program help them?
Definitely. Perfect.
So all yours, Doc.
Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. So first of all, a brief introduction about myself. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ikechukwu Obioha. I'm Nigerian. I'm a IMG from Nigeria. Graduated medicine in 2013 and moved here. When I moved here, I started working with Axon Clinical Research as a case processor. I did some case processing work, did some narrative writing for a couple of companies, but I knew I just wanted to get into drug safety and actually use my medical license. So I heard about Dr. Abhishek's training through my cousin, who's also Dr. Obioha also. So I think that's good enough for my background. So for the training, I would say the first things first, how did the training help me? So I remember one of the first classes, Dr. Abhishek said, I wouldn't be teaching you everything like your food, like spoon feeding you the information. Basically, I'll be giving you the way safety physicians think, the way the industry think, and I feel like that was the best approach to learning the industry, because no one can teach you everything. A lot of it you have to learn on your own, but you need a foundation. So I believe what the training did for me was to give me a foundation, a basic, first of all, basic understanding of everything, starting from aggregate reporting, medical reviewing, and signal management, signal detection and management. And if you can understand how all these things connect, I believe you're going to be very valuable in the market. So after my training with Dr. Abhishek, I first of all had the confidence not just to apply for drug safety physician roles. I was able to get more roles than just drug safety physician roles. I actually started as an aggregate report specialist for Biogen. And this was particularly important because it gave me the practical experience I needed to know what I needed to know about aggregate reporting, actually being the actual author for multiple products and for multiple reports like the DSUR, the PSURs, and also learning how to create the templates. So this I believe with the training and the experience I got with Biogen was able to propel me to get the role I have right now with Daiichi Sankyo. I actually started as a medical reviewer. To give you an example of how important the training I got from Dr. Abhishek was, I believe during my interview, I was so good in medical reviewing that I was basically almost teaching my interviewer, about medical reviewing, because you need to know the regulations, and I believe that is something what Dr. Abhishek will let you understand and not teach you, but at least make you understand that you need to understand these regulations, how the aggregate reports regulations affect different regions, the EMA, the FDA and stuff like that. So having that background really helped me a lot. And also, it also opened my mind. I just didn't lock myself up to drug safety physician roles. With that, just having that information, having that knowledge, now getting to have Argus knowledge knowing exactly what I should be doing in Agris when doing a medical review, I was able to pick up a role as a safety physician stroke product owner. I'm not sure if you guys are technical inclined, but the product owner is basically the person in the tech company who would build the product with the developer. So I was working with Aris Global. That's the counterpart, the opponent for Argus. I actually worked in the medical reviewing tool. I helped in providing more insight on how medical reviewers think. We're able to build multiple tools to actually help in these processes. So I say this to let you know that yes, you probably are here to learn how to be a drug safety physician, but your knowledge, your expertise is needed in different fields, not just pharmacovigilance. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm open to questions if anybody has any.
So how was your interview experience, Doc? Like when you went into the interview, I know that you said you did a better job of medical reviewing than the interviewer, but what were some of the questions they asked you in the interview?
So basically the interview was, I would say, very technical. You need to, for the medical reviewing role especially, you need to be very technical. You need to understand at every given point in time what the role of a medical reviewer is and what the role of a case processor is. You don't need to do any other person's role, but you need to know what they do. So, example, you need to know that you need to understand your coding, and I don't believe that is something anybody can teach you. You have to read multiple documents on that. There are documents you can find on Google, watch YouTube videos. You're going to learn a lot about coding. You need to know how to what RSI means and what RSI should be used for a particular drug or for a particular drug in which particular phase. If it's clinical trial, if it's post-market, if it's EMA, if it's FDA, you need to understand what particular RSI to use. And one thing Dr. Abhishek actually mentioned in the training that took me off the rockets was you need to look at the source documents. You must look at the source documents. Immediately I said that, everybody knew I knew what I was talking about. So that was like the magic word. You need to scrutinize the source document like it's the only source of, basically it is the only source of truth. So you need to let them know that that is the only source of truth. So you need to scrutinize everything there. And then you need to know how to use your medical knowledge. Yes, you have the WHO criteria, the UMC criteria and all that, but you still have medical knowledge coming into it. So you need to be good in that. You need to know how to diagnose Highest law and stuff like that. So you still need your medical knowledge, basically.
Awesome. So again, guys, Doc, the folks on this call, I'm sure they will have more questions if they are into the course after like 2-3 months. They're really getting started with Argus today, so most of your subject technical terms will fly above them right now. But said, just to kind of ease everyone into what we are doing, again, I'm not leading the answer, I'm just asking you without any filter. Do you think the course content that we provide for drug safety roles, like case processing roles, as a case processor, drug safety associate, drug safety specialist, medical reviewer, do you think the content that we provide is sufficient, adequate? And what would you recommend for someone who is getting into the course, getting into the program, just getting started like these folks on the call? What is your first recommendation to them, and will the content be enough for them?
Okay, yeah, sure. That's a good question. I didn't really do the case processing part. I did the medical reviewer part, which had the drug safety physician role. So I did the medical reviewing, aggregate reporting, and signal management and detection. So what I would say about this is it might take some time initially, but you need to know what your grand aim is. Since you're trying to get a safety physician role, you need to understand how all these things connect. It's going to be confusing at first, but at the end of the day, the aim is to understand how these things, how they communicate. How does information go from medical reviewing into the signal detection and management workspace? And from that space, how does it get into the next, maybe risk management or risk management planning or something like that? And also, how does information go from medical reviewing also to aggregate reports like the PSUR? So if you understand how the ICSR travels step by step, that would really help you a lot. Then another thing is you need to know your regulations. You need to I don't think anybody would have the time to teach you regulations. And if you've worked with any pharmaceutical or any manager, you would notice that they always have their regulations open, always. So a lot of the questions they're going to be answering would come from those regulations. You need to always know what's in the regulations and also what you're dealing with. Are you dealing with an EMA case or FDA case or even a Japan case? So they all have different regulations. I believe going through the regulations and having your own output on certain things. So example, if it's a clinical trial case, what do you do with this SUSAR and what are the steps in unblinding a case and stuff like that? You need to have that as your own notes, so you are able to memorize it and always use it on a daily basis, because that's actually when you learn it, when you use it on a daily basis. So I believe going through the regulations, doing the trainings with Dr. Abhishek, obviously, but going through your own regulations, reading up on your own, watching a lot of YouTube videos would really help you a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. I know it's I asked you for 15 minutes, so it's exactly 15 minutes. And again, it's a pleasure connecting with you, even by accident, because I was supposed to call your cousin and I called you, and that's how we got connected again. And it's good to know that you landed in a job, and things are moving so fast that I cannot even keep up with all the students who are getting placed.
Thanks to you. All thanks to you.
Thank you, Doc.
Definitely. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm open to any questions if anybody has any.
So yes, guys, you have any questions? I know you guys are pretty new, but any questions for the doctor on the call?
I think I just have one. You said you watched a lot of YouTube videos and like articles. I don't know if you're able to just share which, like, a certain, I'm not sure which one you watch.
Yeah.
But,
it's gonna be a lot, but
yeah.
example, if I wanted to learn more about periodic like the PSURs, that's an aggregate report. First of all, go and take a look at the EMA regulations on that, because the EMA apparently for some reason is more documented than the FDA. So I always use the EMA as my benchmark, learn what is going on there, then obviously move over to the FDA, read the guidelines also. Then I start watching videos and just watching articles. You're going to see a lot of people, just put it on Google, you're going to see a lot of people writing their own articles, a lot of companies writing their own soft white paper on how they do theirs in their own company. So that would also help you, give you like an industry guideline or standard, what companies normally do based on the particular scenario.
Got you. Thank you.
Definitely.
Any other questions, guys?
Okay, sounds all good.
All good, Doc. So thank you, but I'll reconnect with you in the next few days. We'll talk more. But good luck for your next part of your career, and I wish you the best, Doc. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Abhishek. Good luck, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.